What's up, everybody? This is the second episode of Just Breathing Living Room Live. And we call it Living Room Live because we are in our living room right now. And right now we're live on YouTube. So good stuff. So if you have not been here before, this is a hangout time. This is a time that we are... I'm looking at the computer screen over here. I just realized that.
It's really distracting.
Yeah, maybe I should like blank out that computer screen so I can look at you guys.
That's what I was doing at first too.
Yeah, I'm just like, look at me. I'm on a screen. Anyways, it's that kind of a night. So this is just a hangout time. This is a time that we're just going to answer random questions, either that you submit, friends submit during the day, or we look up on the intranets. So let us begin. You talked about the question that we ended with on the last Living Room Live, which was to talk about...
I messed it up, by the way, so...
To talk about mommying.
It's supposed to be mommying.
Oh, you
you
said...
I said mommies. I said mommies.
Mommies. We're supposed to talk about mommies.
But no, that was incorrect. The person wanted us to... About being a mom, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you start this off since I don't know what that's like.
Oh, okay. So, it's hard, as any mom would know. I was just thinking today, because today is like our family day, we call it. We just kind of hang out, and yeah, it's a great day. And I was thinking to myself, like, it's so hard to be a parent and a mom, and I want to be better at it. And I have like some books that I'm like in the middle of reading for like months though. Like I haven't, like they should be done by now. They should have been done like 2 months ago. And I'm like, this is so important. How am I not finding the time to read these books? But as a mom, as you know, every waking moment is...
Well, maybe they don't know.
Oh, okay. If you're not a mom, then you might not know. But if you are a mom, every waking moment is like filled.
Yeah.
With your children needing something desperately from you.
And it's like... So I'm not a mom, but I live in the same household as one. And it's like every... And when we say waking moment, it's not just a phrase, like a well-used phrase. It is, as soon as your head comes off the pillow, there's a face there that's like, feed me.
Yeah.
Or...
Can I have breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast.
Can we eat now?
As you can see, it mostly revolves around eating.
Or TV. They want to...
Yeah, but we don't really do a lot of TV.
But they still ask a lot.
But yeah. Our kids are really good at that. Our kids are really good at knowing that something's not going to happen, but they have no shame in just asking anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll put it out there.
They'll just keep asking after you say no, too.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they'll go, but you mean yes, right?
And sometimes they run into the other room and tell the other kids that we are going to watch TV, even though we said no, hoping that maybe all of them coming in being like, oh, we're watching TV, will like make us change our mind.
They're like professional guilt trippers. It's crazy.
And then all of them are upset when we say no again.
Okay, but let's talk a little bit, because we can vent all day. Okay. But let's talk a little bit about, I think we actually talked a little bit about this in another question in the last episode, where we talked about, I don't remember the question exactly, but it's something when your dreams changed. You know, I'll be right back because our dryer's going, and I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear it, so I'm gonna go shut that off. But so dreams changed where you never saw yourself as a stay-at-home mom, but then you did.
Yeah.
Was there more to that in terms of like you developing that? I have no idea how to say this because I'm not a mom, but like that motherly spirit, that motherly yearning.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I can answer that question. I mean, there's a lot that I could say about that question, but I'll trim it down quite a bit. But yeah, so when we first got married, I said that I wanted to work full time, and that was mostly like, even when we had kids, I wanted to work full time, and that was mostly because I felt like that maybe I would be viewed as less than by my husband and just by everyone, really, if I didn't make the money that I could make. And so I felt like that was what I should do. And then once I had my first child, JC stayed home with him because someone has to do that, or you pay a lot of money for daycare. And so I was not okay with that. At all. I don't think I realized that I would feel that way, but it was awful, and I hated it, and I wanted to be home, and so we worked towards that, and then now I am.
Yeah.
Now I am. So thank you, Lord. But yeah, I think I realized that if someone had to be home with the baby, like I wanted to be, and I'm the one who's supposed to raise the child and teach them and love them, and I wanted to be the one to do that because I felt like I was missing out, and I don't want to miss out on that. That's something you can never gain back.
Yeah.
So
I think that was, at least in our conversations, that was like a key thing that you had mentioned to me, was that time. And that's like a huge part of the way that you receive love. So yeah. I think once you had kids, you really had this deep yearning to make sure that you gave enough time to your kids, yeah. and being the fact that you were, working full time and all of that, you were like, this is not going to work in terms of me showing them love.
Yeah. I think, and like, yeah, it's just something you can't explain very well, but once you're in that situation, you realize that trying to look good for other people doesn't matter anymore. Like, I realized that I was doing something only to make other people feel better, which I don't even think they felt. You didn't feel that way. Or at least I don't think you did. So yeah, I that changed. And, now my goal is that I want to be the best mom I can be. And that's a really, really hard job. It's really hard to be a mom and balance everything else.
Yeah. And going back to another question that we had last time in terms of just overall marriage advice and things of that nature, we had talked about the fact that we have to be 100-100 in a marriage. There's no 50-50. 50-50 doesn't work. That means you're only giving 50% of yourself. You need to give all of yourself. And a huge factor in why I was fine with the shift that happened in you from being like, I'm going to work full time. Right. And financially, I was like, fantastic. Because you made more than me. But a huge reason why I was completely okay with that shift to you becoming a full-time mom was because of the fact that when I didn't have a good job, when I was still trying to do different things and failing many times, I tried to do like internet marketing at one point. That was awful. I tried to, I was working at Wawa when we got married. Mm-hmm. It was fine, but it wasn't going to financially sustain us. So you allowed me to quit that job just because I knew it was going nowhere and I hated it at the time. So because of that, because you gave me that leeway in the early part of our marriage, I really felt... I didn't feel anything when you were like, I want to stay at home now. I knew it would be hard, and I knew that I would have to step up and make sure I had a job that could make that happen. But you had already given so much of yourself in the early days of our marriage that I was like, of course I'll give of myself now for this time that you're like, I can't miss this time with my kids. Yeah. Like, I don't want to look back and say, I missed their childhood. Yeah. So that's a huge, another marriage tip, when you're giving 100-100, man, it makes it so much easier to for that give and take to happen in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't ever have to be lopsided in who's getting their way or you know, who seems to be getting more piece of the pie.
Yeah.
You know, everybody at one time or another is getting all of it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. So,
yeah, I have one more thing about mommying that just came to my mind that I think would be cool to talk about. And this one I don't have an answer to. It's more of like a struggle that I feel like a lot of moms have, or maybe it's just me, but I don't think so, is like, so, you know, we all, even parents, even dads, we all desire to be like the best parents that we can be, right? And then we like fail a lot every day and are like not super, super thrilled about that. But I'm like, how do you balance doing like things that you want to do, whether it is your actual career or some sort of like passion that you have, like how you balance all those things, or if you're involved with ministries, like how do you balance all of that and also like be a good parent?
yeah.
I'm like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I don't even have very many like great examples of that like I know personally, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, no, I do have some good examples, but I feel like those people aren't involved in as much as I'm involved in. So maybe I shouldn't be involved in as much stuff I am. I don't know. But I feel like that's a hard thing for moms, is trying to figure out how to balance some of the things you've been passionate about and pursue those still while being a mom and a wife. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a really hard one. And I mean, I know of some good examples, but a lot of the reason I look to these people as good examples is because of their mistakes.
Mm.
You know, I look at them because they overcame and maybe were working too much, or maybe they weren't working enough. Maybe they were like, so I think you can go the opposite direction and say, I can't do anything because I have a family. And I think you could be really neglecting other people, other passions, and maybe even, you know, God's will for your life.
Yeah.
If you're completely focused on that.
Right. It's a hard thing because not your parents, your children are your first, well, as a mom, I feel like they're my first priority to, like, they're little human beings that I'm to raise up, to know the Lord and to just be successful in life. Yeah. But then also God has called me to not only that, but also to other things. And I don't want my kids to not see me being victorious in those. And just my, like, living in faith in that way. So yeah, it's like just a balance that you learn as you go. But yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So that's mommying.
That's mommying.
That's in a nutshell, mommying. The day-to-day grind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't ever envy your job. And I call it a profession because it is full-time. It is nonstop. It is brutal. I mean, you don't have to break up fights at the office. Maybe sometimes. It depends where you work. But, like, there are kids dying all day. I mean,
at least you think so until you find out someone just ripped a toy out of someone's hand.
Yeah. Yeah. But you have to investigate.
Yes.
So you're a full-time detective.
Yeah.
On the case. Always having to figure out, is this an injury? Is this a stolen toy? Is someone actually dying?
Yeah.
You know,
like, how laid back am I supposed to be? I don't know. You know, like, sometimes I just want to ignore, like, all the crying and fighting, because I'm like, how often do I need to intervene?
Yeah. I mean, it does make you wonder, because there's no such thing as this cookie cutter parent. It doesn't matter if you read all the same books. There's so much personality that goes into it. There's true. So much.
And every child. And
yeah, there's so much difference in the actual child that affects your parenting. You know, I mean, we were just talking the other day to my Uncle Ted.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out. But he was talking about his boys barely ever fought,
Yeah.
like physically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Brahm has a black eye right now, and I'm putting this out there not to incriminate myself, but to just say we're constantly wrestling. He's constantly coming at me and punching me and trying to wrestle me and hanging on me. And I mean, the other night I was throwing Addy off the couch because that's the game, and Brahm just turns around and he just runs straight into my elbow right here, and immediately it was a black eye. I'm like, oh great. Oh great. But like that's the difference in kids. And all three of our kids love to wrestle. All three of our kids then love to wrestle each other.
Oh yeah.
And wrestle toys away from each other.
Yeah.
And wrestle, each other to the ground if they're bigger than the other one.
They love it until the other person wins.
Yeah, until the other person's on top of them, sitting on their head.
And then they're not happy
farting
anymore.
on them.
They are crazy. Like they don't have mild personalities.
But I've seen crazier. And that's what's so mind-blowing is I've seen, I don't know, I'm sure other people have seen this, where like you'll be with another family and their kids are like leaping over the couch and like jumping up and climbing onto the counter and grabbing the Cheez-Its and just and they're just sitting there like chatting with you like, I don't see anything.
I wish I could be that calm.
Exactly.
I wish.
Where does that not give a crap or patience? I don't know which one it is. I haven't really figured that one out yet because I don't think I know personally I could not be that laid back.
Yeah.
I would have to intervene. I would be apologizing to the people I was with. I'd be like, I'm so sorry about them. I'm so sorry that you had to see that you had to witness, crazy people.
I think part of it is like, our personalities. For me, I think I care too much about like the house being tidy and things being not broken that like I'm just a little bit on edge. But like maybe if we had like a lot of like just cheap scratched up things, maybe I could just be like, you know what, whatever. If things break or they get more scratched, then whatever.
I mean, we've kind of resolved ourselves to that to a certain degree.
Yeah. Well,
we've kind of been like, all right, so we're not going to repaint for a while because they're rolling cars across the wall.
Yeah. Or taking crayons to the wall.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Taking crayons to the wall.
What'd you say?
Oh, goodness. Never mind. I
hope you all got that. They're taking crayons to the wall. They're taking crowns.
I'm sure there's a lot of other problems.
Yeah, there's probably people listening to this that are like,
what's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's fine. It's crayons. It's crayons, people. Oh. So from here, we're going to go to another question. Moving on. I found this one, and I thought it was kind of funny. What old trend is coming back these days? 2020 has definitely distracted people from paying attention to trends.
That's true.
So are there trends that are coming back right now that you've noticed?
I have noticed.
Okay, what's coming back?
Very few places that I go out are Walmart. I do grocery shopping at Walmart. And there is clothing coming back that's like,
okay.
I don't know what
I mean, we all wear clothing.
What era it is, but like it's a kind of like style that I'm like, I've seen that before.
It. Is it pants, shirt?
I mean, like I guess like more of like the flowery and like bright colors and like
hippie.
Yeah, maybe more like hippie kind of looking stuff.
Okay,
but not all of it. But yeah, I'm not good at placing those things, but I've noticed that.
All right,
it's like less modern and it's more like going back.
Is that coming back though? I don't know if that's something that's coming back.
I don't know if Walmart is a good gauge.
Did hippie ever leave?
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean, I guess when people start like tie-dyeing their shirts again.
I think that how you can gauge it is like, are the young people starting to wear it again? Like the older people might just continue to wear it.
That's
but are
true.
the younger people starting to wear it
That's
again?
true.
Then it's coming back.
You know what? I don't know if this happened at your school because we didn't go to the same high school, but kids at my high school used to shop at Goodwill.
That was me.
Yeah, but you did it because you're cheap. You bought your wedding dress at Goodwill.
Well, it looked awesome.
And it did look beautiful.
And
it
I
was
saved
great.
us thousands of dollars.
Yeah. $100. Beat that, ladies. Beat that.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
I don't think they can. Yeah. But they would shop at Goodwill in order to kind of get the retro style.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't do it.
So like there would be kids that would come in with like one of those 80s like windbreaker jackets with
real?
with like the real bright like red and purple and green, like the ugly green.
Oh, that's awful. They liked it
Yeah,
though.
but like they were trying to make it cool again.
Oh yeah, no, that never happened.
You didn't
at
have
my
any
high
of
school.
that?
No. We had like people who were like trying to be cool.
Yeah.
And so they wore like expensive clothes. And then we had the people who were farmers and didn't care.
Right, their clothes are ripped and they're
Didn't
like
care, and they just
milked the cow this morning.
Yeah, they're like, I've been up for 4 hours already. You little wimps. And yeah. That was our school.
Okay. So that didn't happen at your school. I wonder though, because I learned about this in college, how businesses like retailers and clothing retailers especially, they actually like run certain styles like out in order to like make room for like a new trend, and they build the trends, you know. And they'll literally be like, oh, this was so last year, you know, and they'll sell it for cheap because it really costs them nothing to make.
Yeah,
you know, we bought it for $50,
right?
But to them it was $10. So they'll get rid of that, bring out a new style, and you're like, oh, this is in now.
Yeah, yeah.
And that always fascinated me.
That's because people just want like the next new thing.
Yeah. That was always so fascinating though, how like they could really do it and do it effectively.
Yeah.
I mean, because again, you were going to Goodwill in high school. You know, I kind of found myself probably junior, senior year in high school. Mm-hmm. But like early on in high school, I was totally the kid that was like looking at what was in style.
Oh.
And then
yeah, I feel
going to those stores, going to that. By high school, thankfully, I'd grown out of like the Abercrombie.
Mm-hmm.
I never went into Hollister. I still have never been in a Hollister store.
Oh, that's fun.
Holla. Beat that. We're just beating people up today. But I did try to fit in with the style, and it always looked stupid though.
Yeah.
Because I never had the money until I started working.
Yeah.
Which was like junior, senior year.
Right.
That's when I actually got money, and then I could buy clothes that actually look good. But before, you were just trying to like fake the styles with like JCPenney.
Yeah.
Or like Walmart or...
Hey, Walmart's nice.
Target was like special occasion.
Yeah.
I didn't really shop there too much. But all right, any other trends that you see happening in 2020? I'm trying to think of them too. I haven't really thought about this. Let me see.
Well, masks are a trend now.
That's true. Oh no!
Get your cute mask and then put anything you want on it.
That's so true, and it's awful.
Yeah.
It's so awful. I'm not a person that is anti-mask, but maybe this is just like the hipster inside of me, but I refuse to buy a mask.
I know. We haven't bought a mask yet. Like, we have masks, but we are given them.
Yeah.
We are given them.
Right.
Yeah.
We're either giving them or like I'll pick up a new one each week at church.
Yeah.
Because they have like the boxes of the I don't even know. Those just disposable masks,
Yeah,
basically.
those are supposed to be the healthiest for you.
Yeah. So I'll get one of those each week.
Mm-hmm.
Wear that throughout the week,
I
which
always
is probably not the healthiest.
I always
but,
think about buying some of the cute ones that they have out in the store, but then I look at the price and I'm like,
No.
nope, I can't do it. I can't.
Well, I thought about buying. I mean, we sell on Teespring. We sell like the Just Breathing masks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I should pick one of those up. Advertise for the podcast and stuff. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And they're pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool
they're
looking
pretty cool.
compared to some of the other ones I've seen. We have like the goiter ones.
What are they?
Is that how you say it?
Say it again.
Is it goiter?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm butchering that.
I could just not
The ones
know.
that are like around your neck.
Oh.
That's if a person has like a turkey neck, isn't that a goiter?
I didn't know that. I could be. I just don't know it.
This is a
You might be
terrible thing
saying-
to say about
you
somebody, but
you might be.
turkey neck.
Be saying it right, but
Yeah, we have some of those too.
I have like a.
Teaspoon.
I was just gonna say I have like a hairband thing that I used one day as my mask. Cause it's like a long.
I've seen.
I'm like this totally looks like one of the masks.
Oh my
people
gosh.
wear, and
So I was in Giant the other day, and no joke, this one lady came in. And I was just in this one section looking around, and she comes by like this, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, I forgot my mask." Now, first off, I was like, "I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care." Secondly, what is this going to do?
make other people feel
Put
better.
your hand over your face, like.
It makes other people feel better. That's all that matters.
It was so funny to me. I mean, she had like a shirt. She could just,
Yeah.
I know plenty of people that have done that.
Well, I've done that.
Yeah.
Not because I was trying to be a rebel, but because I forgot my mask and I was like, I am not turning around.
Well, it's just gotten so silly with the fact that you need a mask in addition to other protocols. Like, really, with the way that the virus spreads, you need distance.
Mm-hmm.
The mask really isn't effective unless distance is also being observed.
Then
You thought I was going to say it wasn't effective. Didn't.
well, they're not. I feel like that's not being upheld though anymore. I mean, I'm not. I'm
much.
not. Like I'm
Not
in
as-
line and
Not as much.
I'm
But there
probably
was
4 feet
but there was
away
one
from
time
someone.
that I forgot my mask, went into the store, got all these dirty looks, but I never came within like 10 feet of anyone.
Yeah.
Never. And they were like, "You got to have a mask." I'm like, and it was one of those, which I love, by the way, how all stores now have this pickup.
Yeah.
So you order it online, you just come in, pick it up. Love it. And it was just that. I literally already paid for it. I just needed to grab it and walk out. And they were like, you got to have a mask. Really?
You should just hold your shirt up.
It gets silly. That's a terrible trend, though. We need to bring back trends. Bring back bell bottoms.
Oh no, they're already trying to do that.
Ooh, we should bring back. You remember the Goth pants?
Oh no, don't
Like
bring
the
those
people,
back.
the people with like the black pants
was
with like the
awful.
chains and stuff on them.
I don't
that
think
were
anyone
like.
agrees here that we should bring those back.
Well, I don't mean for me, but like it would be fun to see. I enjoyed when people wore them.
It looks so goofy.
Oh, it was terrible, and they looked so strange because they were always the skinniest kids. Did you ever notice that?
No.
It was like the skinniest blonde-haired kid wore the Goth pants, and they were just ginormous, and his black hoodie on.
What is that
And-
supposed to mean?
I don't
Did it
know.
mean anything?
I don't think so. I think it just was
A
other
style?
people aren't wearing it. I mean, Goth, I think, was hipster before hipsters.
Oh.
Like millennials who, didn't have jobs and were eating avocado toast and things like that. They became the new, well-dressed, styled goth.
Oh.
But goths were totally hipsters before hipsters.
I guess so.
I mean, I just made that up, but
Sounds right.
sounds good. All right, let's see what other ones we can go over. Scrolling. Some of these are like extremely specific. I kind of want to like stay away from those and just get into like the more broad, fun ones. Ooh. How do you plan to make the world a better place?
I feel like this is a Miss America question.
Kind of. Some people solid plan. Some don't care. And some, it seems, are actively trying to make the world a worse place. Find out where on the spectrum the person you are talking lands.
Oh.
Where do you land, person that I am talking?
Well, I feel like I don't have a very clear plan. Like that sounds like they like know how to feed the world or something.
How do you plan on making the world a better place?
I plan on making the world a better place by being obedient to Jesus. Can you get any
that
more
is
religious than that?
Yeah, but that is even worse than like a Miss America pageant.
World peace.
Yeah. World peace.
I don't know. I mean, that would be my best answer. I'm going to do the best I can to raise my kids, so that they are contributors and not criminals. And
I think that's like an actual answer, though. I mean, I think that's a tangible way that people can actually change the world,
right.
Is to like focus on it. This used to be the thing,
right?
You know, in olden times, your offspring were extremely important because it might depend. What am I trying to say? It might. Their goodness gracious, I have no words coming to me right now. Their abilities, their social prowess, their, fighting abilities, maybe going way back,
right?
Depended on if they could lead and help your people to survive.
Right.
And like we kind of lost that in this self-centered culture that we're in right now, that we don't think about the next generation as the next generation of Americans, like the next generation of citizens.
Yep.
So the sheer fact that our education system sucks right now is such a disservice to our country.
Yeah.
Not just to the kids that are going through the system and some are graduating without being able to read. We're just pushing them through, and that bothers me. But it's a disservice to America as a whole. Now we have an entire population littered with people that can't read.
Yeah.
And how are they supposed to become the people that are going to affect change and affect, positive motion technologically, And
I feel like we have lost that educational piece where like you're really like when you come out of school or whatever kind of craft you come out of, that you're super skilled and excellent at it. I feel like, and maybe I could be wrong because I haven't met a whole lot of people coming right out of school, but like I feel like we've lost that really being super excellent at something. Like I feel like years back, from what I've heard, like my parents and grandparents talking about, like people were like, they knew their stuff, and like you could actually fix your own stuff, and or if you knew an electrician, they could help you out, or just you knew your trade and you were good at it. And like now, I don't know, I feel like there's less of that, and just more like jobs that almost anyone could fill, or you can learn just a little bit enough to fill a job.
Well, what's really interesting, and going back to our education system, I don't want to rail on it because I want to affect positive change in our world.
Right.
But they've really pushed a narrative of, we're the best people to train your kids. And they're really not. it's
What do you
really
mean, the educational system, you mean?
right. Like this narrative has really kind of spread far and wide that these teachers are trained. You know, they have college educations
They are
to
trained.
be
Yeah.
teachers. But the problem is kids don't learn in our current education environment effectively.
Yeah, not
You
all
know.
of them. Some people can do it, but not.
Yeah, I mean, were we just talking about this today?
Yeah, we were because we were like, Brom would not be learning as much as he is now.
No,
if he
I mean
was in
because
school.
he gets distracted and we're one-on-one right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I mean, eventually the other kids will be homeschooled too, but like you're one-on-one with him and he still gets distracted.
Yes.
So there really is I don't even want to call it a problem, but there is a known difficulty that we really should work to overcome in our education system right now, because so many kids that our kid is highly intelligent. We're not just saying that because he's our kid, but he struggles to stay focused. He struggles to pay attention. He struggles with all of these things. You can call it ADHD or ADD or any of these things. He may be diagnosed with one of those things if he was in a public education institution. But like, it just requires more work on our part.
Yeah. I think the thing is that when you, and because I know this would be true for me if we were sending our kids to public school, that when you send your kid somewhere to get something, you trust that they're going to get it, and it frees you up from needing to take on that role. So most parents are very busy working very hard, and so they send their kid to school trusting that their kid's going to get the best education that they can get, when they maybe they're not, maybe they're struggling because they don't have the one-on-one. So it's like a hard circumstance, because it's not the parents' fault necessarily, and it's not necessarily the school's fault. It's just that we've almost like given off this responsibility to someone else, hoping that it's going to be great, when maybe they would benefit a little bit more if we were a little more involved, or if they maybe got a little bit more one-on-one at school. I don't know. That's just my.
And the only reason I'm bringing up the narrative that we're kind of receiving about, hey, send your kids to our education system, you know, we'll be able to teach them better than you could at home because we're trained educators, you know, or the fact that, you know, college is pushed so much.
Yeah.
You know, or the fact that, oh man, you just keep going on and on with down that line. But what was I thinking of right before that?
Why you're mentioning it?
Yeah, but I had like a train of thought and it just went brrrr. Huh. Yeah, but anyways, I think it's because I have another topic that I wanted to bring up, so I'll just bring it up now because I have no idea where I was going with that one.
You had a good link, but you lost it.
It was there, and I was navigating in that direction, but it did not go that way. I listened to a podcast recently with a guy that I think wrote. I think the name of his book was called Irresistible, and he was talking about you know, cell phones. Screens.
Oh.
Not just cell phone screens, but just screens in general, tablets, computer screens, things like that. And he was just talking about the sort of takeover that these devices have had on our culture. And he talks about some of the ways in which to combat it, but he also, you know, he talks about the dangers. He talks about, you know, the trends that are going on right now, and a lot of them are very scary, you know, because a lot of, and I know there was on Netflix there was that Social Dilemma movie that discussed a lot of the issues with social media and the ways in which that they're designing algorithms and designing their interface to function to keep your attention. And this guy talked about that a little bit, where he mentioned the fact that, and I totally forgot about this, like on Facebook, for example, there used to be a function where you would scroll and then it would stop, and then you were able to hit a button that said load more.
Oh.
But they took that away.
So you can scroll endlessly.
So you can just endlessly scroll, which means that you could endlessly give of your attention to that platform.
Wow.
And there's a lot of ways that different companies like Google and TikTok, for example, I've never used the app, but I've heard that as soon as you open the app, a video starts playing. Oh. You don't even have to click on one. I think you can navigate away from that, or you just open the app and boom, you're in.
Oh, wow.
And the algorithm maybe already knows your likes and your follows and things like that. I don't know how it works exactly. But the sheer fact disclaimer that ever comes up that says, hey, you've been watching for 20 minutes. Would you like to continue?
Yeah.
Like,
a little check,
which I kind of think, and I'm going to get back to kids, but I think that's definitely doing a lot of harm, not only on kids themselves, because what this guy in this Irresistible book found was that a lot of kids are reaching out to him and people for help with all of this stuff, not for themselves, but for their parents. So kids are reaching out now. It's almost like, and what he's concluding is that a lot of kids have found sort of like coping mechanisms to deal with. There are definitely people that are completely addicted to these devices, completely addicted to social media, completely addicted to whatever it is. But they seem to, because they have grown up in this environment.
Oh, it's a little bit more normal.
It's a little bit more normal, and they're actually looking for more ways to distance themselves from it.
Wow, I wouldn't expect that.
But their parents are having more addictive issues that they're reaching out to people about now. And I didn't realize this.
That's easy.
Yeah, I mean, we're fairly young, and we've grown up mostly with this. The internet was around when we were born.
Yeah. I didn't have like a screen. I didn't have any kind of tablet until I married you.
No, but
except for a computer that was one computer in our house.
Right, and that's all we had for a long time in our house. But I just find this to be a fascinating phenomenon. Where
Yeah, it is.
So now you're having kids that are 8 hours a day being taught by someone that's not a parent. Then the kids come home and there's a huge population of adults, over 30 adults that are struggling with some type of, for a lot of adults, it's actually games. Like the cell phone games.
Okay.
Like enslave them.
Yeah.
It's actually really, if you want to have a kind of dark laugh sometime, go read some of the reviews on some of the most popular cell phone games.
Oh no.
Yeah, like go to Candy Crush, or I'm trying to think of.
That blue one, you were saying that one was super popular.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't play any of these. So I don't really know. No, that's not true. I definitely have felt some of the addictive quality when I did play those games. I didn't like them. Whenever something feels too much of a time suck, I'm able to kind of get over it eventually. So they weren't that much of an issue for me. But yeah, if you want to laugh, go read some of the reviews, and it's funny, but really sad because some people will write like, "This is my favorite game. It'll probably be the death of me," and they're not joking. You know, I know I've heard stories of people that play WoW.
I've not even heard of that. What is that one?
That's World of Warcraft.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I've heard of people playing that till the point that they literally have to go to like a hospital. It's crazy. The but again, these games are designed to never like games that you used to play on like Nintendo or even earlier, an arcade game has a game over.
Yeah, it's true.
So like there's a mission that you have to accomplish, and then if you fail or accomplish it, the game ends.
Oh, I can see
But like
that.
all of these modern games, you know, like I think of again, I don't play video games, but a Skyrim. I know people like your brother. I think played that for days,
I don't know,
and
that's
like
not video games.
didn't really even get that far into it.
Oh wow.
You know, just because there's so many things to do in it. There's expansion packs that come out, so you can just like keep playing and keep going, and it's crazy. But all of these things are factoring into less attention being given to the education of kids.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mean like from our education system. I mean like, let's say the education system is doing a okay job. You know, give them some credit for the job that they are doing. But your kid struggles with attention. It should be the parents' job when they come home to be like, "How you doing?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on?" Like, you know, being aware of where their grades are slipping, being aware of, you know, where they're at. Are they retaining information? Are they just memorizing for the test? Which that was all high school for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
it's a hard thing because I mean if you're addicted to a screen, then that's definitely like as a parent that's a problem.
yeah.
But like even not being addicted to a screen, I feel like sometimes it's hard to give your kids the attention they need. Like just today I was thinking like there's so many times where like I wouldn't say I'm ignoring my kids, but I'm like not fully paying attention because they do talk a lot
Constantly.
to me.
Yeah.
But like I like realized I was doing that and I was like, I don't like that. Like I don't want to do that. Like I want my child to know that what they have to say is important to me, even
Right.
though it might not actually be important. But I want them to know that what they have to say is important because they're important. And but it is hard because sometimes like for me I have things that I have to do like through email or on my phone or just things I have to organize or coordinate, and like I'm on my phone like doing that, like not playing a game, but I'm kind of working-ish, and so I'm just kind of like when they're talking I feel like it's distracting.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I need to find a time that I say, kids, like I'm working or whatever it is that I need to do on my computer or my phone, and then have other times where I like say to myself, I'm not gonna do those things because those things are endless, and just be available if they want to talk and just get other stuff done. But yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine it'd be even harder if I was addicted to a game or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a good answer to that question.
Okay.
How do we change the world? We change it by focusing on the next generation.
Yeah.
Focusing on the kids if you have them. If you don't have kids, focus on your niece, your nephew, your cousins, whoever you are in contact with to inspire,
Influencer.
invest in, give money to, whatever you need to do. Make them good countrymen, make them good people, make them good whatever you can give, whatever you're good at, invest that in them so that they can add to this country. And if everybody did that, we'd have so much better of a country.
Yeah.
But we are lacking, I feel like, in that regard. Let's bring it down a little bit, though. I feel like we got a little serious there. Do you prefer summer or winter activities? Okay. No, I'm asking, though, only because you love playing in the snow.
I do love snow. I love the feeling of snow. Like, not actually on my hands.
Yeah.
Like, I like the feeling of, like, it's kind of magical still as an adult. Like,
Yeah.
to look out your window and to see snow and it's all beautiful and everything that's ugly is covered up. And you're just like, even though it might not be Christmas time, you just put on the Christmas music anyway and put up some lights.
Yeah.
So magical.
I feel like I don't feel that at all.
Well, also,
I don't feel
so
that.
everyone knows I'm not the one that's like totally responsible for shoveling the driveway.
Right.
So I'm like,
I feel
whatever,
like
doesn't matter if the driveway has to be shoveled 5
Yeah.
times.
See, people say like when you just become adults, like that Christmas spirit, that childlike Christmas spirit, you know, just sort of disappears because of adulthood. I think it's shoveling. I think shoveling rips the Christmas spirit, or the Hanukkah spirit, or the winter spirit, whatever you celebrate, out of.
But I help you shovel sometimes. That's fun, right?
Yes. Yes. No, I do enjoy it. I enjoy, now that we have kids, I enjoy watching them play in the snow. And I enjoy them, you know, especially in big snows, you know, trying to walk through it and, you know, sledding for the first time, the joy that they experience in that. But if we lived somewhere where there was no snow, I would also enjoy that.
Yeah, we would go over it.
And I would look at my kids' smiling faces and say, I never needed that snow.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's
Someday.
definitely summer for me. Does your family ever take seasonal vacations? I don't know. Just a question.
I don't think so, no. We always took,
Took like one main one to the Poconos, right?
yeah.
I guess you did some other stuff, right?
Yeah, that was kind of like camping. Like people would probably call it a vacation, but it was like just something we did sometimes.
Yeah.
We would go camping, but it was only like for a weekend.
Holiday conversation starters. Not. It was like education conversation starters. Yeah. We're done with that one for now. Ooh, what is your favorite cuisine or type of food?
This is gonna make me hungry. The first one that comes to mind is Chinese food. I don't know if that's true for me, but that's the first
That's
one
what
that
you're
comes to mind.
craving right
That's
now.
what I'm craving. I really like American Chinese food.
Oh yeah.
Because
there is a distinction.
I feel like if I went to China and had to eat their food there, that I might not experience.
Well, we did have. There was a woman in my church from China. She comes every so often now, but at one point she made like this full course meal for my family, and it was so incredibly different than anything I've eaten at an American Chinese place. It blew my mind because I was like, this isn't Chinese food.
Yeah.
You know, me as like a smug American is
Yeah.
like, what is this? What is this? Where's the
this
General
authentic?
So? Where is the General So?
That's really funny.
It was
Was it good though, or was it?
some of it, yeah. Some of it was different.
Yeah.
And I also don't know if China's huge.
Oh yeah, I'm
I
sure
don't
there's
know
a
if-
whole bunch of different
Right.
ways of cooking.
Well, there is
here.
I was about to say, in an American Chinese place, you have different cuisines based on different regions
Right.
in either Asia or China proper. Like, so I would imagine that the food is extremely different in different regions in China. So I'm not sure where this woman was from, which part of China she was from, but it was much less spicy
Oh.
than a lot of the American Chinese food that I've eaten.
Is there like sweet and salty stuff?
No, like that. It was rather bland, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because if you go to like a more authentic Indian restaurant, or no, was it Indian or was it no? It was Thai. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thai restaurant. That was mind blowing. How spicy that food was. I mean those dishes that they brought out to us. Remember that?
We
And
went
there was
to a
like
couple Thai places. Is this the one that was like closer to the around the mall? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place.
Yeah, I didn't actually love everything as much as I thought I would there. I like your meal.
That's because you always order some weird thing,
I'm trying to be
and
adventurous.
then she eats my food. But yeah, okay. So Chinese food for you.
Yeah,
I would have said Chinese food pre celiac disease for me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, now
Celiac disease is kind of like it's killed Chinese food for me. I can't even go.
Yeah, unless I make it for you.
Right, unless you make like a dish where we know what ingredients are going in there and we're making sure that it's good ingredients and not thickened with wheat. Post celiac disease, it's definitely Mexican food.
Oh, okay.
And I
That
say
makes
Mexican food not to be racist. I mean I like food from Mexico. You know, not like I'm sure all Latin food is great, but I love food from Mexico. And oh my goodness, now I do want that.
I know.
This is a terrible question
this one
because
is
I want
bad.
tacos.
Yeah. You know what kind of tacos I like? Are those is it, but it's like this saucy, but meat. It's in a sauce, and the meat is like it's not like ground beef. It's like meat, and it's like flaky when you put it. It's like usually taco meat, like super like savory.
Oh, carnitas.
Yeah, carnitas. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
So much.
I eat the crap out of that. All right, let's not talk about food. Because I want that so bad right now. Weird conversation starters.
Oh,
Here we go. If your mind were an island, what would it look like?
Oh boy. Oh, that's a great question. You have to go first.
My mind was an island. It would look. Oh, what are the islands that have like a chain of islands coming down?
Yeah.
It would be all disjointed. It would be like one huge conglomeration of like 1,000 different islands.
Yeah.
That's what my mind would look like.
Yeah.
You know, they would all be connected from like the volcano that they originally erupted from under the ocean, but it would just be like, you know, all over the place.
Yeah.
That's my mind.
Yeah, I think my mind would be similar. I would have or either that or one big island, and like as you walk through it, you like see like beautiful scenery and then insane crazy scenery and just a whole bunch of different kind of spots on the island.
There would be a lot of spiders. There would be a lot of spiders on the island.
There would be no spiders on the island.
No, there would be a lot because
they're in my mind and I'm scared of them?
Yes.
Okay,
You're
so
terrified of
there would
spiders.
also be people with torch guns killing the spiders on my island. So, yeah.
Yeah. They would all have like the Mandalorian torch.
Oh, yeah. Spider.
Do that again? Alright. Ooh, I like this one. What, and this was totally up your alley. What flavor of ice cream do you wish existed? What flavor do you wish existed?
So it can't exist already? That's hard.
And there's very few that don't exist.
Yeah.
But maybe one that maybe I know. I want an ice cream that tastes good with some, like, any type of gummy. Where the gummy is able to stay, like, chewy.
Wow.
In the ice cream. So it's like, it's formed to almost combat the elements of cold. So that when you bite into it, you have the ice cream, but then it's just a soft, chewy Sour Patch Kid.
That would be amazing.
I think that's dope.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Someone else was saying.
Oh no. How's this? Is this better? Sorry, guys. Well, a lot of that video is going to be crap.
Oh, hopefully that wasn't for too long.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, I think it'll be all right now. I wonder why I did that, though.
Did it mute?
I don't know. Somehow it must have got off the mics.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So strange.
Thanks,
Alrighty.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so what ice cream would you pick?
Well, I don't know if they make this anymore, so I'm going to use it as my answer. So I used to have bubblegum ice cream at the Ole Dairy, and it was the only place I've ever seen it was there, and then they stopped doing it. And the only other place I saw them make bubblegum ice cream was like someplace up near the Poconos, and it wasn't the same. It was like ice cream with pieces of bubblegum in it, which was not the same. The bubblegum ice cream I want is pink, and it tastes like kind of like bubblegum, but it doesn't have any like pieces in it, and it's really, really good. Yeah.
I think they have that. Have you had like the Hershey's bubblegum ice cream?
I didn't know they sold that.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to get that. I think they have that at the Ole Dairy.
No, they don't anymore.
Oh.
They don't. And I haven't found it since.
Okay.
Because I think the Ole Dairy changed their ice cream source.
Oh, okay.
But
All
maybe it is still out there, and there's no places around who sell it.
All right, so bubblegum ice cream,
Bubblegum
Sour
ice
Patch
cream.
Kids ice cream.
Yeah. That's a fun question.
Oh, jeez. All right. You have to relive one day of your life forever.
Oh, boy.
Which day would you choose?
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome to Groundhog Day.
You have to.
But now you get to pick. Also, there's no way out. Infinite loop, but you can do whatever you want on each day.
Wait.
So
This is an awful circumstance. Is the people with you know? Probably not.
I don't know. That's a good question. They didn't really elaborate too much on it. But you have to relive that day. So all of the things that would happen in that day are still going to happen.
Yeah.
You can know. I don't know if you know. I think you can make different decisions. But let's say maybe you don't know that you're reliving that day.
Oh, okay. That might actually be a little bit better for your sake.
It might be. Although they did say welcome to Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
So that sounds like you would know.
Okay, so I'm going to just throw an answer out there because I could think too much into this and then it would take a long time. I would say like one of the days that we were in New Zealand, which feels really awful to say because I'm like leaving out my kids, but but that would be pretty awesome to be in New Zealand every
you wouldn't
single
say
day
like,
of my life.
oh, the day I gave birth
that
to
would
my
be,
child.
No,
like,
I
no.
wouldn't do
I
that.
don't want to relive that for anything. Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, that day, one of the days that we were in New Zealand.
Okay.
Not one of the days we came and not one of the days we left. One of the days we were there all day.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to go with one of those days too. But I'm trying to think of another one. Like I was thinking, of course, like at first the right answer is to be like the day we got married.
That wasn't the best day.
But like I don't really want to relive that day because it was cold and we had to take like 1,000 pictures, and
you're really just waiting to like not have a crowd watching you anymore.
Yeah.
So you can just be married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll go with New Zealand. Because there's really nothing that could beat that.
No.
I would rather live one day in New Zealand over and over again than, like, any boring day.
I know.
Any boring day here.
It's so true.
Because what's so awful about that question is, like, I guess you can't, like, get further on something each day.
Right,
you know
you're
what I
not
mean? Like you might be able to perfect an art, like in Groundhog Day, how we learned to play piano.
Oh yeah.
By the end of it, so like you could get like really good at something, but like that doesn't help you accomplish anything.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
Ooh. All right, here's a good one. We're going to end on an interdimensional note.
Oh, boy.
A portal to another world opens in front of you. You don't know how long it will stay open. I feel like I'm in Inception reading this.
I know.
You don't know how long it will stay open or if you'll be able to get back after you go through.
Oh, yeah, nope.
What do you do?
I don't go through it.
Really?
No.
Do you chance going to tell other people about this portal?
Well, what if it closes?
But I mean, this is the thing though.
I don't chance it.
This is one of the options. Do you go tell somebody and chance it closing and you never knowing what's on the other side of that?
Totally okay with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I can't leave my kids and my husband and all these people and just disappear and be gone. No. Nope. That's easy. I can tell you're thinking about it though.
If a portal opened right here, right now, to another world, you would not have like this crazy desire to just jump in.
No, I would try to stick.
It's another world.
I would try to stick my head in.
It could be Narnia.
No, well, if I wasn't sure if it was going to close up, I would probably go get my whole family.
But you only live once.
Exactly.
What if
my
you got
family
to
and
live
my
in
children
two
need
worlds?
Me. Need me in this one life.
Yeah.
You would go in though, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, the kids have you, so.
Great.
But I definitely get back.
Of course.
It's like Interstellar. I would find my way back.
Yeah, once your kid's about to die.
Yeah, once my kid was like 60 years old.
Oh, wait, we're spoiling the movie.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. All right. So you wouldn't do it?
No.
I definitely would. I definitely would jump through that. Yeah, I definitely would. Alrighty. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. And thanks for hanging out, everybody that was here. Sorry about the audio early on in the night for most of this stream.
Oh, no.
That's okay. I mean, if you listen really close, you could probably hear us. But we'll work out the kinks. We're going to do this every week. So, yeah. We'll keep putting it out there when we go live. And so just keep... make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell because then if you don't see our social media posts, you know when we're live. So that's important. All right, guys. See ya. If I can learn how to shut this off.